Welcome back. So today is, yeah, I ordered something from Hush. I do love that website, especially for the dupe items that have been found on there over the last year or so. I'm not going to say years because I really don't know how long they've been around. So, there's a lot of shadow on this side. So yeah, let us get started on that. So yeah. shophush.com. You can find a lot of really good stuff on there. And I kept seeing pictures of this one palette. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so when I ordered this, this particular item was only available through the Hush app. It was no longer available online. You had to order it through the app. And so yeah, there we go. And of course, if you follow anything, one moment. If you follow anything, you've seen, I'm sure you saw my previous video where I did a dupe video for the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance palette. There were a few shades that weren't quite exact, but they were close enough for me to use as a dupe when I used them and spoke to friends who were quite familiar with the Modern Renaissance palette. They couldn't tell me which one was the Bad Habit Royals palette and which one was the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance. And thanks to Hush, I found this one, the Retro Love 14 color eyeshadow palette by Bad Habit Beauty. It is supposed to be a dupe. From what I saw, the photos, it looked like a very, very close dupe to the Subculture palette. Now I did get this, from work, and I didn't think I was gonna like it, just because of all the bad reviews and everything that I've seen. A lot of mixed reviews on it. I went ahead and gave it a shot, and I haven't really used it a ton, but you can see that I have used it. You can see that I do have some favorite shades already. I love using the green and blue shades, and then doing like a cut crease with this one down here. It looks gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Now let's open this one up, and we can see that it is very, very similar. Okay, we are going to do these side by side. And the brush for the Anastasia one is probably going to fall out, but you know what? That happens every time. Okay, so there we have it. They look very, very similar, and I am excited to jump into that. Now before I do, I was able to get a free Okalan 6 color eyeshadow palette. I'm going to open it from this side and see. I don't know that I'm going to swatch them because it wasn't a palette I was anticipating on getting, so I'll either put it in a giveaway or I will gift it to a friend. With it being the holidays, it is very, very possible. So there we have it. It's a very, very neutral. It's a very neutral palette, very, very light. There looks like 4 shimmers and 2 matte or 2 satin shadows. So I think I'm going to gift this one. So we're going to put that back in the box and call it good. So yeah, that was the Okalan 6 color eyeshadow palette. On the back. Okay, cool. On to this one. So I brought my wipes, and I brought my coconut oil, which I need to get more of because I can see the bottom. But this is what I use to remove a lot of my really stubborn makeup. I also use it as a moisturizer after washing my face. So, I'm going to try and go through this quickly because the last time I did the video was like ridiculously long. So, we're just going to go. So, looks like Cube and Psychedelic are the same shade. Oh dear, I got some of the coconut oil on the new palette. So, fresh arm, okay, and fresh hands. Okay, let's do this. Alright, so this one is from Retro Love, this one is from Anastasia, and the Bad Habit Beauty one looks a lot more pigmented. We will see how that goes. How should I do this? Okay, we're just going to go from here and go over. So, it's getting kind of rough to try and do the one from Anastasia. But there you have it. Bad Habit, Anastasia. Okay, so I'm going to try and make this as quick as possible. Okay, that was just to get the stuff off my fingers. Okay, so next we're going to go into Roxy from Subculture and Flower Power on Retro Love. So, as I did, yeah, Flower Power from the Retro Love, Roxy from Subculture, Roxy Love, Subculture. Okay, or Flower, crap, no. Flower Power, Bad Habit, Roxy from Subculture. Okay? So we go there and there. Alright, so pigmentation isn't too terrible. It's about on par. Bad Habit Beauty is a bit chalkier, a bit more chalky and patchy as opposed to the Subculture, but still, it's a really good dupe. Next, we're going to go into Icon from Retro Love and Electric from Subculture. Icon is going on my index finger, and Electric is going on my middle finger. Okay, so here you have Icon, and you have Electric. Bad Habit Beauty, Anastasia. Okay, so let's do right there and right there. Okay, so the colors are very, very similar. The one from Bad Habit Beauty looks like it has a little bit more yellow in it. This one here from Anastasia looks like it has a little bit more green. But so far, it's not doing too shabby. And I am cleaning off my fingers, because I'm just going to be using these two. I am cleaning off my fingers with my makeup wipe. Okay, so next up in the palette here is, let's see, we're going to go with Dawn in the Subculture palette, and that looks to be the same as Peace from the Retro Love palette. So I used the wrong finger for that one. Okay, so this is Peace. I know you can't see it because I don't want stuff to fall out of it. And then Dawn. Okay, Peace, Dawn. They're very, very similar. And here we go. Alright, so again, very, very similar in pigmentation and shade. Quality is a little bit better than, say, this one here, but all in all, you really can't tell a difference. And something I have noticed so far is that the arrangement of the shades is actually a bit closer to the original palette that it's supposed to be a dupe for, as opposed to the Royals palette with the Modern Renaissance. So it's a little bit easier to see what those dupes are. If anything, they've kind of flipped them a little bit on the as far as the layout goes. So yeah, anyhow, so moving along. Okay, in the Retro Love palette, you've got Hippie which is like a dark OD green. And then the subculture, you've got Destiny. Okay, so you've got Hippie, and you've got Destiny. And here we go, and here we go. Alright, so I went way too high on that swatch. Okay, so that's where we are on that. So it looks like the top row is going to be like up here, and the bottom row is going to be like down here. So there we go. Because there's 14 shadows. So yay. Both of which are going to be chalky, but you know what? I'm going to get whatever. I'm over that. Next up is we're going to do Youth from the Retro Love palette, and then we're going to do Fudge from the Subculture. So you've got Youth, and you've got Fudge. Now looking at the swatches on my fingers, the Fudge shade looks a bit more warm. This looks a little bit more cool, but we'll see how it goes on. Okay, so I'm totally not doing top row, bottom row, but whatever. Okay, so there is Retro Love, and here is Subculture. So even in the swatches you can see that this one is definitely warmer. This one's a little bit cooler, I think, but still, when you blend it all out, you really can't tell. Next up is Pop from Retro Love, which looks to be a dupe for Mercury from the Subculture palette. This is one of my favorite transition shades from the Subculture, so I know it's a little dark for transition, but you know what? I go outside what you're supposed to, because makeup is fun and you do what you want with it. So, we got Pop, and then you have Mercury, or Mercury, or Mercury. I say it Mercury. Anyhow, we go Retro Love, Subculture. So looking at those swatches, there's definitely more pigmentation to the Anastasia shadow. I also ran into this again with the Royals palette versus the Modern Renaissance, and also I think this one looks cooler and slightly deeper than the one from the Retro Love. But again, the Retro Love palette is $10 as opposed to the $42 you're gonna pay for the Subculture. So far, it's a pretty good dupe, pretty good change, and we'll get some more shades in a moment. Okay, so next up is we're gonna go dip into Revolution from Retro Love and Adorn from the Subculture. So Revolution is going on my index finger, Adorn is going on my middle finger. So swatched, you've got Revolution, you've got Adorn. Now I love using Adorn on my lid as a crease, or as a cut crease shade, and I am really excited again to see just how this performs on my eyeballs. So yay. Alright, so we're gonna do, okay, so this is Bad Habit Beauty. Oh my god! And Anastasia. So far, that's my favorite dupe shade out of both of these palettes. And look at that! I love it! Oh my god! It's so pretty. It's so pretty. Okay. So next up, we're gonna go into okay. So already so I see a shade that's not quite perfect, but it should be fairly close. I'm talking about the shade New Wave in the Anastasia palette. So looks like the closest dupe I can find is going to be the shade Fab in the Retro Love palette, and then you've got New Wave in the Subculture. So swatched, you've got Fab from Bad Habit, and you've got New Wave from Subculture. How was I doing this? Okay. So, boom, and boom. Actually, those are pretty dead on, I think. So, that is phantasmagorical. Awesome! This is turning out pretty good, I think, so far. Okay, so moving on, again, using the Subculture as the base, I guess, we're going to go into All-Star, which is that really pretty red shade. So, and it looks like the dupe for it in the Retro Love palette is going to be a shade called Rock and Roll. So we've got Rock and Roll on my index finger, All-Star, which actually has a divot in the palette, in the pan, on my index. So yeah, we've got Rockstar, so I can get the light better. Rockstar. No, Rock and Roll, All-Star. Okay. Now who else just got Smash Mouth stuck in their head? I know I did. Okay, anyway. Right here, we've got Retro Love. Right here, we've got Subculture. So, as is before with some of the other, with the darker shades like the brown ones over here, this one is a bit more patchy, slightly lighter, I think due to the patchiness. This one is definitely a lot more pigmented, but still, looking at it, and again, blending it out, you're not going to have any idea if I'm using the Subculture palette or if I'm using the Retro Love palette. So, I've got 5 more shades to go. Okay, so moving on to the next, we're going to go into Mod from the Retro Love palette and Untamed into the Subculture. So here we go, Mod on my index finger and Untamed on my middle finger. A bit more of that one. Okay, so the Mod just on the finger swatch here looks like it's a bit more patchy than the others. Either that or it's just because I've been wiping the eyeshadow off my fingers, 10 times already. Okay, so Mod and then Untamed. Right here and right here. Okay, so obviously definitely a lot more patchy with the Bad Habit Beauty, and it's a little darker. It seems to be that Untamed from Subculture has a bit more green in it, and it's a bit brighter. But other than that, again, when you blend it all out, it'll be fine. So we have 4 more to go. I lost count, we have 3 more to go. So that and that. Okay, so next up is the shade Edge from the Subculture palette, and the dupe shade for that one looks like it's going to be Rebel. So again, Retro Love on my index finger and Subculture on my middle finger. Now, I've actually used Edge quite a bit as a base. When I use electric as part of the cut crease, I end up using Edge on my lid before putting that one on there. So you've got Rebel, and then you've got Edge. And here we go. Okay, so as with the previous 2 or 3, not nearly as much pigmentation in the Bad Habit Beauty as the Anastasia Beverly Hills, but blending this out and layering it a little bit, you'd have no idea. None at all. And that is a really weird thing on my arm, don't you think? Okay. Anyhow, we have 2 more to go. Huh? Next up, we have the shade Axis, A-X-I-S, Axis, from the Subculture palette. The dupe shade for that one looks to be Free Love in the Retro Love palette. So again, index finger in the Retro Love, middle finger in the Subculture. Now, even though you can't see me actually swatching these things, as you can see on my arm, you can kind of tell which one is which side by side. So you've got Free Love, and then you've got Axis. Right. Boom and boom. Oh, wow. I have no words. These two are some of the two of the closest shades I have found in here as far as pigmentation and lack of patchiness and everything else. So that is super duper freaking awesome. That's just really cool. I like that one a lot. And then last, but certainly not least, we have the shade Rowdy in the Subculture palette, and the only one that's left in the Retro Love palette is Nostalgia. You can say Nostalgia, Nostalgia, whatever floats your boat on how you want to pronounce things. Same goes with Mercury, however you want to pronounce it. So, Nostalgia on my index finger, Rowdy on my middle finger. Okay. Rowdy. No. Nostalgia. Rowdy. And it looks like Rowdy is going to be a bit more pigmented. Where am I going to put this? I've run out of room! So we'll do it right here. That's Retro Love and Subculture. Okay, so yeah, that one did not work out so well. We've got Retro Love, Subculture here. Out of all of the shades in here, I think those are the two that don't match the most. So, all things considered, it's a pretty good dupe. If you want to try Subculture, you want to try out at least the shade range, but you don't want to pay $42, get the Retro Love palette. It's $10 on the Hush app, plus you can get a free eyeshadow palette or something with that order. At least I did. So, one last look-see. Ooh, shimmer. I do like the shimmers in both of these palettes, and it's just pretty awesome, I think, at how similar the two are. I mean, just like the Royals and Modern Renaissance, they're also, you know, blue, or the same shade, color, whatever. Oh, I hope I don't get any on my toes. And again, let's try and do the side by side one more time. And there goes the brush. So there we have it. Okay, now that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you like it, go ahead and hit the like button. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. I always love seeing new subscribers, as most YouTubers do. I do apologize for the length of this video, but if you watched my other one, you know that these things take time for me. I don't exactly do editing per se, so everything is essentially live as I test it out. This is not working at all whatsoever. That's phantasmagorical. Okay, you may all use that word if you'd like. It's one of my favorite words. Let's try and use some coconut oil as I wind down from this. Oh, I think I got too much coconut oil. I got a little too much. So, yeah, this is what I used to take off all my makeup. And holy jeepers, it is not coming off. You see that mess? Okay, anyway, so thanks again for stopping by. I appreciate your view. I appreciate your comments. Go ahead and follow me over on social media. I did recently change my Twitter handle, just because I wasn't always posting a whole lot of beauty stuff on my Twitter. I usually post, or tweet rather, on Thursday nights during Critical Role. They are on a hiatus. and they will be filming, they'll be doing new episodes, new season starting January 11th, brand new characters. The story arc, the campaign that they've been doing for the last 2 or so years streaming and continuation of their home game, that one wrapped up back in October, I think. So they've been doing a lot of guest one-shots and trying out other game systems, and it's been really fun to watch them do that. So anyway, I digress, but I changed my Twitter handle from Lioness Beauty to D&D Lioness. So if you follow me on Twitter and you're wondering where in the hell that name went, I just changed it because it seemed like a good change. I've thought about doing the same thing with my other social medias, but I don't know. And again, I apologize for not being very active on those socials as much as I was before. But if you all watched my my chit chat life update video, you'll see why. You'll also see why I don't post very many YouTube videos as I did in the beginning. Life gets crazy. It really does get crazy. So there's that. Anyhow, this video is pushing 20 plus minutes, probably close to 30. So I'm gonna go. I still have some Christmas presents to wrap, and yeah, I think we're going to be playing some Arkham Horror tonight, which I'm kind of excited for because that's a really, really fun game. Otherwise, it's either playing Star Wars The Old Republic on the computer or watching some more Poldark. If you want, I can do a video at some point of, the shows that I'm watching, favorite movies, books that I'm reading. If you want to have a video like that, please let me know in the comments below, and I will definitely film that as soon as possible. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So, y'all like the hair? You like it? It's all nice and short and awesome. Okay, Tam, you're being an idiot. It's time to sign off. So, thanks again for stopping by. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, thumbs up. And leave a comment below. I love reading them. I don't get many, so I really, really, really enjoy them. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next one, and I hope you all have a very happy and safe holiday.